Boom! Greetings from YouTubeville. Once again, Danny Savage, Draft Guru, coming at you with BAM! Rocking the GWO shirt on this Sunday. Gonna be coming at you with 14 centers. Wait a second. Wait 1 minute. Simply glorious. By far the best beard on YouTube. Coming out with 14 centers. I got 30 guards left, tight ends, which I'm going to get to later on, wide receivers, corners, safeties. That's it. I'll be done by tomorrow night. I might wait till Tuesday morning to do quarterbacks because I got some sleepers in there. It is if you like the video, subscribe, like it. It is a below average center class. We've been spoiled, I think, the last 2 years with the amount of centers that have been drafted in the NFL. I could be mistaken, but last season, 2020, last year's draft, I think 3 centers went in the first round, yet only 13 centers went the entire draft. Most people, they can't even give you 10. I'm giving you 14. Also, with the guards I'm going to drop, a lot of them do have center flex. After I drop this video, you'll be able to see I'll be posting some highlight tapes down in the comment section. All right, my center number 1, Jared Wilson, University of Georgia, 6'3", 310. What I like about him is, he sat behind Cedric Van Pran for a couple of years. He didn't just jump in the portal, when he faced adversity and went to another school. He's great at combo blocks. I would like him to get a little bit bigger. He has no problem leading. He has no problem pulling. He has no problem getting to the second level. And he's my center number 1. And honestly, it was kind of close too, because my center number 2 is Jonah Monahan, USC. Ironic, out of all these 14 kids, I gave you 13 of them, either preseason or during the season. And it's ironic, there's a couple dudes that people are hyping up now. Yet, like I said, I've given you 13 of these 14 guys already. So I've broken these guys down numerous times. This is just the final rankings. Jonah Monahan, USC, 6'5", 315. The reason this kid's going to get drafted high, first of all, he has great size, 6'5", 315. I'm sorry, I like my centers to be big goons. This kid has started left tackle, guard, and center. He started those positions out of necessity with injuries on the team, but he finally settled in at center. And if you just leave this kid there, and I'd love to see another 15 pounds on him, he is a mauler. Remember that name, Jonah Monahan, USC. Like I said, I gave you all these guys already. Next kid, Jake Majors, University of Texas, 6'3", 320. Very smart, has been starting since he was a true freshman. 56 starts to his credit. Like I said, no problem pulling, no problem getting to the second level. He's smart. He has to get bigger. Because I think if you put like a 350-pound zero tech in front of him, he's going to need a little bit of help from the guards and stuff like that. Hey, it's a below average center class. Don't hate on me. I just report on what I see. Center number 4, Eli Cox, University of Kentucky, 6'4", 315. Very smart, strong, broad across the shoulders, 3-year starter. His best football is ahead of him, man. Like, he has good feet. He's strong. He could be a sleeper. He's not one of my sleepers, but it's possible. Next kid is a sleeper. Number 5, Zeke Corral, 6'4", 310. He has guard and center flexibility. He spent legit like 5 years at Notre Dame, and he went back and forth between center and guard. I challenge anyone, go check out the 2021 Ohio State Notre Dame game. This kid, Jared Patterson, was hurt, the center. They slid him over. And like I thought I was watching Jared Patterson. I'm like, who the hell is this kid? And this dude was just pancaking people left and right. So then I followed his career, jumped in the portal as a graduate transfer, went to NC State, immediately took over the starting center job. And like I said, this kid has guard and center flex, played a lot of football. He's strong, and he's a great technician. He's great with his hands. He's a hand fighter. Next kid is a kid who's a sleeper for me, man. And I like him a lot. And nobody, bro. I challenge anyone to find a video on this kid. I challenge anyone. Jackie Clark, center, SMU. He has a story, don't we all? Children's story. Slick Rick, showing my age. Started off at the U. 6'3", 335. I like my centers big. Started off at the U. There was some issues with another center he was going back and forth with, who I wasn't a fan of. And he basically vanished off the face of the earth. Left, jumped in the portal, went to Bethune-Cookman, HBCU. Dominated. From there, jumped right back in the portal again and went to SMU and straight dominated. Like I said, 6'3", 335. Just a short, he looks like a fire hydrant. And my opinion, he would be best in a scheme that where, he can where there's a zero tech in front of him. That's where he's going to play his best football, in a power blocking scheme versus pulling. You know what I'm trying to say? He's best when there's a big zero tech in front of him. I challenge anybody to find me a video of somebody breaking down Jackie Clark, SMU. Next kid, Jacob Gardner, Colorado State, 6'4", 300. He played his first couple of years at Nevada. Nevada's coaching staff all went to Colorado State. He went 6'4", 300. Ironically, he has a center. Bro, he's a technician, and ironically, because of injuries, he has filled in at left tackle. Do I think he's a left tackle? Absolutely not. But they also said the same thing about Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State. Haven't even got to my guards yet. So he's a kid that no one is talking about, and he could fly under the radar. But how many times when I tell people, when you can do more than one thing, you are crazy. You're going to get drafted, man. It is what it is, man. Next kid, number 8 on my center list. Division III. I don't care. I don't care. I got the balls to put Division III players in my top 10. I got the balls to put, I don't care if you're an undrafted free agent. You make the team and start. I don't care. You can make my top 10. At number 8, we got Thomas the Tank Engine Perry, Middlebury College in Vermont. The kid is 6'3", 330, 700-pound squat. He went to the East-West Shrine Bowl, and he basically laid a beating on all these Power 5 Power 5 defensive tackles. He's been training with that dude in Texas, Duke Merriweather. Yo, don't be surprised this kid is even higher. Don't be surprised someone takes a flyer on this kid like round 4. I'm serious because he's just a mountain of muscle. Also, state champion wrestler. How many times do I bring that up with my offensive lineman and defensive lineman? I like my linemen to have a wrestling background. Charlene Evans, boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat. So this kid is a sleeper, but like I said, the All-Star games don't mean much to me. But when you send a kid from D3 to there, and he's just destroying, Iowa D tackles, Georgia D tackles. There's something there, The tape is hard to get on him. It is very hard, but I got 2 tapes on him that I watched. And his best is where he's playing in a power scheme. His best is when there's going to be a 350-pound zero tech in front of him. I think he's too stiff to pull, to be honest with you. But as long as your team is running a power blocking scheme, you know what I'm trying to say? I don't have a problem. I just don't want to see him pull. I do think he is athletic enough to get to the second level, but I don't want to see him pulling. I just want to see him mauling people. What a day. Sunday. All right, where were we? Cooper Mays, Tennessee, coming in at number 9. 38 starts, 6'4", 305. He's strong, and bro, this kid is broad. Some people might have him as a guard. I have him as a center. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to lie to you. Out of this center guard class, there's probably like 75% of them have center guard flexibility. So it is what it is, man. At 10, Brandon Yates, West Virginia. 1-year starter. I'm trying to think, because he sat behind Zach Frazier, who the Pittsburgh Steelers took last year in the first round, and he basically stepped in and dominated. So this kid, sat behind Zach Frazier, 6'4", 310, and no one's talking about this kid at all. He's my number 10 center. Nobody. Nobody. Number 11 is a kid a lot of people have in their top 5s. I don't like him. Don't like him. Sean McLaughlin, however you want to pronounce it. Ohio State. He did play for Alabama, and he just crumbled when Alabama played Michigan in the playoffs 2 years ago. He legit had he's 6'4", 305. He legit had 20 errant snaps. His snaps were horrendous. So he crumpled under pressure, got death threats. They were like, yo, get this kid out of here. So he basically just jumped in the transfer portal, went to Ohio State. Didn't blow me out of the water. I'm sorry. And plus, do we know if he has gotten out of that where he's going to crumble under pressure? Like I said, he's day 3. He's day 3. Me personally, I wouldn't touch him at all. Number 12 is a sleeper. Gus Hartwig, Purdue, 6'6", 305, 48 starts under his credit. Now, Purdue has been horrendous the last few years. Here's an example of a good kid playing on a bad team. That's why he's not getting the recognition he deserves. At 6'6", he's 305. This is the mad scientist in me. I want 30 more pounds on this kid because I just want him to be a mauler. He has loose hips. He can get down and block shorter defensive linemen, but at 6'6", 305, when he gets a 6 foot, 350-pound nose with zero tech in the NFL, if he puts on the extra weight, he ain't going to struggle. He has no problem getting to the second level, no problem pulling. Honestly, you can even probably put him at guard. Next kid is a kid, number 13, that no one was really talking about him because of his lack of height and lack of size. But yet, if you watch this kid play, he gets everything done. You put this kid up against Power 5 linemen, he gets things done. And his name is Willie Lump Lump. I'm joking. Willie Lumpkin, center/guard, University of North Carolina. Once again, played on a horrendous team. 5'11", 280. He was a state champion wrestler. He started 3 years at Coastal Carolina, then transferred to North Carolina, and just boom, took the job. Here's the bad part. He's 5'11", but now he started 57 games at a high level of football, and the bad part, he's 5'11", 280. Like I said, he was a state champion wrestler, and you can go to the bowl games and watch this kid just stonewalling Power 5 defensive line. Legit. Because what do I tell you about wrestlers, man? Wrestlers make they get you to use your leverage against you. He's a technician. He's just a fire plug. He has heart. This kid comes out. He's a pit bull. I already know my team's not going to draft him, man. I'm going back years ago, but I remember the Steelers had a short-ass center. I'm going back like 30 years ago. I can't think of his name. But the Steelers had like a 5'10", 5'11" center. So now, this is just like college football. I mean, a lot of people are going to shit on him for his lack of size, but yet when they have all these defensive tackles high ranked, and then you watch this kid just stonewalling them, someone's going to take a chance on this kid late day 3. I would have a plan for him. You could throw this kid at fullback during, like at the goal line. You could put him in the backfield as a fullback to block for the running back. And listen, bro, plenty of undersized centers. Plenty. I'm talking about 6 foot, around that height, 5'11" centers have bounced around the league for years. It is what it is, man. But do I think he's going to be an all-pro? No. But there is out of the 32 teams, man, I'm just hoping there's some old-ass offensive line coach sitting there, and they're like, let's just, let's throw a pick at him, or most likely he'll be a free agent, an undrafted free agent, which, to be honest with you, if I had the choice of being a round 6 or round 7 pick versus being an undrafted free agent, I'd rather be an undrafted free agent, because then I could look at all the teams that have no centers or problem with centers, and then I can go to that team versus a team that has an all-pro center. Common sense, people. Last kid, Ryan Lithcomb, center, Clemson. 6'3", 305. listen, nothing jumps out at you at this kid at all when he plays. He doesn't. 1 year wonder, only a 1 year starter at Clemson. He's an undrafted free agent, to be honest with you. Last year's class, and it was a strong class, only 13 centers got drafted. Ironically, like 3 were in the first round. But what I'm saying about Lumpkin and a few of the other kids, the center position is where you can hide the least athletic offensive lineman. And any coach will tell you that. Any coach will tell you that. Any scout will tell you that. The reason you can hide the least athletic person at center is the biggest part of center is up here. You got to be smart. You got to be able to think on the fly, change the blocking schemes. When there's audibles, calling out, changing the blocking schemes. Again, a lot of guys can't do that. A lot of people are not multitaskers. But the reason you can hide a unathletic player at center is because he has 350-pound goons on each side of him. And you know what I'm trying to say? If he's not playing with a zero tech in front of him, he's basically just doing a lot of combo blocks and then going to the second level, going after the linebackers. So, boom, 14 centers. I'm going to be dropping some highlight videos down below. That's what she said. because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO, it's for life, over and out. Enjoy your Sunday, everybody.